Hawaii County Mayor Billy Kenoi spoke to an audience in the Hilo County Council chamber on Wednesday night, selling his budget proposal in the days before the council begins its deliberations on the spending plan.
The property taxes, $225.9 million when we took office, $198.3 million today.
Half of the crowd was comprised of the public. The rest were administration officials and county employees. At the heart of the budget is a property tax increase. Kenoi says the county needs to raise revenue in order to maintain essential services. Kenoi produced display boards to illustrate his proposal.
In fact, our population has been increasing year after year. So this is our budget when we took office, $403 million as a budget. $225.9 million in property taxes collected. We'll get to that one. Hold on 1 second. So in terms of demand, so when we took office in 2008, 2009, this is our population. Right? This is the budget. So over here is 403 million. Over here is 365 today. The population back in 2008 was shy of 182,000. Now we're just shy of 190,000. Numbers have us at about 187, 189. So our budget has been decreasing, population increasing, which means more demand for services. Nobody's calling us saying, hey, we want less police in our district. We want less fire. We want less buses. Or we want less parks. And everybody's saying, we've got, and rightfully so. And so we've try to focus on building more parks with the belief that improving Reeds Bay around Banyan Drive is a wise investment. So in the meantime, so that's where we were at. So we have a proposed budget for the council to consider, and this is what we've done. We said, hey, Puna has 8 police officers on a shift, covering an area geographically the size of Oahu. So you think about an incident in Ala Moana, Waikiki, send 2 officers. Incident in Makaha, Waianae, send 2 more officers. Oh, we've got a disturbance at Kaneohe, Kailua, 2 more. Mililani, all of a sudden you're out. And try to imagine you get a call, volcano. Next thing you know, Hawaiian Acres, Aina Loa, Nanavali, Leilani, that's it. And we cannot have that. It's the fastest growing area in the state of Hawaii. And we need to provide more services. So we propose putting 5 more police officers in Puna, in Ka'u. We're talking about, people who don't know Ka'u think it's, oh yeah, Ka'u. It's like one place in the southern part of the island. It's 3 very distinct communities. Pahala, Na'alehu, Ocean View. Each 15 miles from the other. So Pahala, which holds Ka'u High School, has students that catch a bus 15 miles to Nalehu or 30 miles to Ocean View. 2 police officers covering that area. The police presence in Puna, same number since 1991. So we're proposing that. Fire. We know that people talk about, well, what's healthcare at the municipal level? Well, healthcare means if you don't have transportation insurance, no worry, you can still call 911. And the best will come through your door to help you, protect you. So we have a recruit funding in there for a recruit class to bring 12 more firefighters. Also more lifeguards. Why? As we said earlier, the County of Hawaii is a self-insured entity. Meaning if there's any exposure to liability, everybody pays. So thankfully, so far so good, but our focus is on public safety. The other 2 areas, we try to strategically invest, not new fire trucks for Honoka'a, for KL, that have to cover large areas. Another area was transportation. So we don't propose property tax increases to make our budget provide these services, but also, for example, in transit. Right now, over 55 disabled students ride free. So as you know, the Department of Education raised their bus rates, which pushed a lot of our students onto the Helion system. The cost next year per rider will be $6.50, our estimate. So we're proposing that everybody who pays $1 will pay $2, and people who are currently riding fee will pay $1. Now you hear debates on both sides. Oh, you're not raising it enough, you're raising it too much. And every decision we try to make around the budget, we try to be as fair and equitable as possible. Right? People said, I don't ride the bus. Why should I support the bus system? Because the more people we get on the bus, the less traffic we have. It mitigates and alleviates traffic congestion. Also, it makes the roads safer. A lot of people, a majority of people are driving back and forth. 83% of Hawaii Island's resort development is in South Kohala. In fact, 5 of our 10 largest employers are hotels on this island. Mauna Kea, Mauna Lani, Hilton, Four Seasons. But a lot of the people who work there don't live there. Where do they live? They live Ka'u, Ocean, Puna, Hilo, Hamakua. So by providing a transit system that is safe, efficient, reliable, timely, we take people off the roads and make our roads safer. That much less vehicles, that much more safer. So our goal is to, when people say, well, what about the transit system? The challenge with our transit system is not only that we provide the largest transportation system in the state of Hawaii. In fact, I remember one year the federal government said, we'll give Hawaii $15 million for neighbor island transportation. We'll go $5 million Kauai, $5 million Maui, $5 million for Hawaii County. I said, excuse me, I don't mean to be disrespectful to my dear friends who are mayors of Kauai and Maui. We work collaboratively and cooperatively. But there is no way $5 million to each county is fair. I could put Kauai in Ka'u and Ocean View and have it vanish. Right? Maui, you go Hamakua, that's it. That's Maui, Hamakua. And so it doesn't make any sense that we run the largest system there. We had 55 buses. A lot of our expansion was due to federal funds, thankfully. Won't have the same source of federal funds available. But you think about it, on this big island, this was Kohala, Ka'u, Kona, Hilo, Waimea, Puna. On this big island, 55 buses. But every other agency, Parks and Rec, Public Works, Police, Fire, have stations and base yards island-wide. Vehicles located in a different... Transit has one base yard in Hilo with just 3 mechanics. When a bus breaks down in Kohala, 2 of the 3 mechanics have to go out to service this bus. 7 days a week, this system. So we have to provide more support, or our transit system will fall apart. And why? Because we were constantly cutting and reducing information technology. People have said, why are we standing in line? Why can't we get more services online? Absolutely true. We should have more services online. County government needs to be more responsive, more timely, easier to access services. I want to thank our finance department for trying to facilitate driver's licenses, to try to make things easier. Yes, the federal government imposed all these federal regs. Yes, the state closed their ID office, pushed it on the county. That being the case, it is what it is. We have to do better at it. And one of the ways we can do better is utilizing technology. We did a study to compare our municipality, size of our budget, size of our population. And we found similar municipalities around the country, information technology, $13 million budget, 48 employees. County of Hawaii, running this island-wide system, $1.6 million, 18 employees. We cannot continue to want without providing the resources to do. And so trying to say, how do we benefit the most people? So, of course, property taxes. Nobody likes to do it. We try to minimize it, try to not shift the burden on anybody. These last 4 years, for example, in 2008, when we took office, the property taxes for homeowners were $5.55 per thousand in valuation. Today, it's still $5.55 per thousand in valuation. So we propose to increase our property tax rates to generate what revenue? To generate $394 million. How much taxes we'll collect? $219.4. But remember, 5 years ago, the budget was $403 million, and we collected $225.9 million in property taxes. So even with the proposed tax rate increase, Hawaii County will still collect less money in taxes, still delivering county government cheaper than it was 5 years ago, in spite of a growing population, in spite of additional and rising uncontrolled costs. So we would submit that it's a fair budget, it's a budget that was carefully put together to generate revenue, and say, what does that revenue look like? On average, monthly bill on average. So what we did was take everybody in the class. So property taxes are 9 classifications: homeowner, apartment, commercial, industrial, hotel, resort, residential, agriculture, conservation. And what does that work out to? Well, of course, if you own a 8-bedroom, it's different from a 4-bedroom, different from a 2-bedroom. But on average, the homeowner class pay an average of $8.50 more a month. Agriculture, $4.75 a month, less than $60 a year. Conservation would be the one class that went down. Hotel resorts, so season would go up to $72. But I want everybody to recognize also, this isn't wild spending where the budget has increased exponentially. Because even with its proposed rates, we'll still be collecting less than we did when we took office. So after 4 consecutive years of cutting, this is where we're at.
Mayor Kenoi has already held a few meetings like this one around the island, and more are planned. Next week, Kenoi will bring his cabinet to Kea'au.